crazy loco, they are all nuts. You know what to do, Fang. Savage the nuts. Oh, not those nuts. Yeah, fucking dumb dog.
Cowabunga, surf Nazis and grommets. You're checking out Mulray in your face live on the 7 Network all over the rock. Now please welcome the gnarliest egg roll ever to go off on a sloppy mush burger, Doug Mulray!
It's out the back. A cheery and sincere surfer's greeting to you all. Spring is upon us, gentle viewer. Spring, fungus, and tens of thousands of tiny invisible parasites. It's awful when you think about it. Let's not dwell on the nastier aspects. Let's dwell on the former, shall we? Spring, our happy season.
The springtime, the only happy being time.
Hey, ring-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring. Spring, when a young man's fancy lightly turns to surfing, ladies and gentlemen. Sure, there's your roughing and frotting, but when the water temperature nudges 20 and the air temperature nudges 25 and your nudger nudges everything or wants to. Sun is up, sky is blue, the beach is the only thing to do. So welcome to our surf spectacular, ladies and gentlemen. Our celebration of warmer weather. On the show tonight, Australia's finest surfers past and present, surf music, surf movies on the Castrol Cubes, surf fashion, surfboards, surf furniture. We've got it all for you tonight. I'm actually extraordinarily happy to be hosting a surf show. It's a nostalgia trip for me, really. You see, I misspent most of my youth on the beach, shouting lewd suggestions at not-so-innocent young women who made the mistake of passing by. Round the rocks with you! On your back, pig! And other DY witticisms. Yes, I'm a Dewyan. That's what we call ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, Dewyans. There we were as kids accumulating cancers. No hats in the 70s. A hat, in fact, was a euphemism for a condom. And we didn't wear those either. SBF 15 was a new model Honda the Westies were riding, and slip, slap, slop was something you did behind the surf club. Except it was slip, slop, slap most of the time for me, which is why I didn't need the condoms. What did Woody Allen say? I don't tan, I stroke. That was me. A big roll of wet sand in the sluggos with a little skirt. A Jansen surf jacket my auntie had bought me for Christmas, tossed casually over my shoulder, grinning through blistered lips at the mighty Pacific Sea like a bloody drug-crazed idiot. Actually, that's exactly what I was. A bloody drug-crazed idiot. The sun wasn't the only danger either. There were blue bottles, there were sharks, rips, beach inspectors, and most dangerous of all, your drunken mates. I remember once being beaten unconscious for wearing Leisure Master jeans, ladies and gentlemen. It was for my own good. They were stretch and everything. Thank heavens for true friends. Ah, yes, surf culture. A new way to live, a new way to talk, a new way to look, a new way to dance. Oh, he's my blonde-headed stompy, won't be real. Gone. Blonde, stomper, real. The springtime, the spring. I knew it was a winner. Oh, okay, the dance thing wasn't so great, particularly the way I interpreted it. No Paul Mercurio here, but the music was king. The music was gas. The music was Stoker Boker out the back. And the fave Sydney band of the era was Tamam Shad, ladies and gentlemen. Tamam Shad, oh, a nostalgia trip for many of you, I know. They're back together. They're moving ahead. They have a new album, a new hit. It's getting airplay all around the country. And this is it. Stay, ladies and gentlemen. Tamam Shad, please make it welcome.
As I drove her home, dim the lights on, flopped the fire with my arms and we're alone. We cried love that night, woke the morning, bathed in light, saw the note, what did she write? Just the words that said, stay. I want to give you all I could give away. Stay, caught in the rapture, this love will never fade. Please stay. Good job, he doesn't know that.
Oh, fantastic. on the 7 Network doing the Mulray program, and this is our celebration of summer, ladies and gentlemen, the return of warmer weather. Please welcome my two first guests, surfing legends Tom Carroll and Nat Young. Tell us about the boys, will you, Max?
Okay, Doug. Nat Young and Tom Carroll are two of the filthiest hillmen ever to straddle a stick. Twice world champion, Tom Carroll is the pipeline master who once executed a 90-degree snap turn into the barrel while racing down the face. Master of the Malibu, Nat Young is 3 times longboard world champion, and his legendary wave exploits are off the Richter. Blokes and burgers, please welcome two surf legends, Tom Carroll and Nat Young.
Go, Natty, you can do it. Oh! Tom? Oh, I have one little go, mate. One little go. There we go. Oh, mate. Oh, he's doing it too fast. He's trying to get me off. Oh. It's the boys. Grab a few, guys. Any way you like it, any way you like it. There we go. Given that I stayed on much longer and certainly rode that board much faster and much harder, I think I'll take the big kahuna's chair. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Or if you prefer the...
you know what kahunas are, don't you?
If you prefer the pudgy kahuna. No, I don't. No, I know Aloha and Waikiki and How's Your Father, but I'm not sure I know what kahuna actually is.
He's a big Hawaiian bloke.
Yes?
Yes. With big Hawaiian kahunas.
Well, kahunas. We're talking...
For riding big Hawaiian waves.
We're talking cimental bull material here, aren't we? We're talking Frisians. Frisians, early good fur. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our surfing program, and these two guys, I guess, represent surfing past and present, although you're just about past as well, Tom, aren't you?
Past, yeah.
Especially with that dicky knee. We should really congratulate Tom for taking a risk on the Widowmaker because his knee is not what it used to be. In fact, you did
That's
one
right.
knee and this is the other one going now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
You poor old bastard.
Old
And is
old
that-
buggers always come dicky knees, mate.
Dicky knee.
Yeah,
Sorry,
bloody
that's another
knee.
network and they were on earlier. This cutback of yours, this legendary 90-degree cutback, is that what did the knees?
Oh, it's a part of life, yeah. I was really motivated to do the hardest possible turn ever, you know?
Yeah.
And body just doesn't withstand it.
No, so that, yes, you're saying
Obviously,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, your knees have collapsed because of your radical turns, is that correct?
How about yes?
How
Radical.
are your knees, Nat? Are they okay at this stage?
Not bad. I used to go and pick up Tom after he had dicky knees, and it was always... actually, it was really bad because he was a grommet around our shop.
A grommet. Would you care to tell the ladies and gentlemen of the audience what a grommet is?
A young, underage surfer that really shouldn't be doing it that well, but is.
And annoys the living daylights out of everybody who's been doing it for years and doesn't do it as well as he does.
Precisely. Took
Yeah.
the words, Uncle Doug, right out of my mouth.
I
But
know,
anyway,
And that's quite dangerous because you've been drinking.
you noticed.
You've been pouring alcohol down your wealth.
I have.
Down your north and
I'm
south.
ashamed. You should notice it.
I thought you might have a glass of Coke and support the sponsor because they have looked after surfing over the years, have they not?
They have.
Major sponsors of the ASP.
Major sponsors of Tom Carroll on a lot of occasions.
Yeah.
Certainly not... back in my day, I surfed in a Coke contest once at Ferry Bower, and I gave the proceeds of that contest, that I got 3rd place, to the Australian Labor Party because it was time of Gough Whitlam, and we were all talking in that that period when you really had to take a stand on certain things.
How do you feel about the Australian Labor Party now, Nat?
Not as strong as I used to be.
No, I think they're having...
I must say that I'm slightly disillusioned. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are.
You're an opinionated bastard, really, aren't you?
I can't help myself, Uncle Doug, much like yourself.
You've in fact probably been the legendary aggro figure of surfing as long as I can remember.
What do I say to that?
You say yes.
I just said what I said.
And if you persist with this line of questioning, I'll drop in on you and punch your lights out.
Oh, I couldn't handle that. Your right cross is memorable.
You had a feud with Midget. You and Midget were the two longboard legends, and probably still are, really, in real terms in Australian surfing. And you and Midget don't get on anymore. Why is that? Why did you fall out?
It wasn't that we ever fell out. I fell out, you know. I don't know what I ever did. What I did was, I guess I was younger and I surfed better. And what do I say, you know? I mean, when people replace you, that'd be like saying that I have a feud with Mark Richards or Michael Peterson. I mean, I think the whole thing's ridiculous. And as I said on television not so long ago, midget is a whinging pom, and that's it. Nothing to say. I should have been well warned that you were going to take this line of questioning.
I'd just like to say that Midget Farrelly is one of the finest surfers ever represented this country.
He was my hero.
Our first ever world champion, and a man who recently sold me my first mount, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back in the water, and actually, he didn't give me a discount. No, you're right. He's an absolute whinging palm, and I'm sorry that we didn't put the subject up.
Now you're maladjusted. What should I say?
People have been saying that for years, I'm afraid, now.
Well, yes, I did. I think before this occasion I did.
Tommy, surfing, is it a thing you do or is it a thing you are? Is it a way of life? Is there any alternative for you? Could you live away from the beach?
Definitely not. No, it's in you. It's you. You can't help it. It's a very, I mean, it's got a hold of you. If it has a hold of you from a very young age.
And it does a lot of Australians, doesn't it?
It does.
We're all coastal dwellers.
Yeah, we're all coastal, and the ocean has that effect on you. And it certainly had its effect on me, and I'm hooked for the rest of my life. For as long as my dicky knee hangs in there, you know, I'll be
You've got a dicky butt too, haven't you?
I've had a dicky butt.
In fact,
I've had a dicky butt. You want me to show the scar?
Can you show the scar without embarrassing?
No, actually, I couldn't.
No, we don't want to. We don't want to drop a brown eye on the national television. I don't know. For those of you who aren't familiar with this, we asked if surfing was in, Tom, and it nearly was at one stage in Japan. You had a bit of a nasty fall.
I had a bit of a rough time.
Reasonably small surf, I believe, but the point of the thruster thrusted.
Right up your aim.
Yeah. No, I've tasted fiberglass wrong into myself, and it wasn't a pretty thing.
So you crawled out of the surf with a surfboard protruding from your fundamental.
Yeah, I had to pull it out, walk up the beach. You know, a couple of good mates came from the side and helped me.
Did they kiss it better?
Eyes. No, they weren't that bold.
No, they weren't that much of a mate.
No, not that much of a buddy, mate.
No. We've got another of your mates here tonight, guys. We've got the former editor of Tracks, who is, of course, a surfing legend himself, John Reggae Ellis.
Reggie.
We don't want to talk to him about surfing because he's so tedious. But we thought we might have him whistle. It's a little known fact that he's a fantastic whistler, so we're going to go to the break playing a legendary surfing tune, Wipeout, and Reggae Ellis is going to whistle it for your edification and listening pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate him. Like a whistle. Good help is so hard to find. We're back live. We're around Australia. This is the Mulray program on the 7 Network, and we're dedicating tonight's show to the return of the warmer weather. Has it affected you? The temperatures are up. Water temperatures nudging 19 degrees. Is it a good time, or do you guys just surf regardless?
Regardless.
Yeah? It doesn't matter to you that the summer's back, that the flowers are in blooming, you're smelling the jasmine in the air?
Oh, yeah. I know. You get a cop that when you're walking down the beach, just dreamily walking down the beach. Jasmine.
We're looking after our sponsors. That's the doorbell, eh? It's a very commercial doorbell. Maybe while I'm getting the door, we can get shots of your gear, which is, of course, Quicksilver, and your gear, which is, of course, Oxbow. Surfing is a business now, ladies and gentlemen, is it not? Would you excuse me? 2 horn bags, I believe, in the person of Hammy Burridge and Lane Beachley. Ladies and gentlemen, please make them welcome. Tell us about the girls, will you, Max?
I certainly will, Doug. Yes, indeed. Pat Burridge and Lane Beachley are a pair of Gramercy cars who've been Hellcats since they were baldies. Lane Beachley's ranked #2 in the world and can carve up a humongous barrel or full of a floater. World champion Pam Burridge is the queen of Australian surfing who loves the lipstick of Kooks, brown board shorts. Wildebeests and Wallies, please welcome Blaine Beachley and Pam Burridge.
Pam Burridge, ladies and gentlemen. Oh! Well, you didn't last very long, Pammy, but it still looked fantastic from where I was. And they said Nat Young was the most sexist man in Australian surfing. Oh! I'll show you how it goes. I'll show you how it goes. Fantastic. I think I'm the next world champion, ladies and gentlemen, I do. It's like this, it's quite easy. You just relax from the hips, let the feet go, make sure you got the big kahuna clothing on, crank it up to 1,000,000, and away you go. It's that simple. Thank you so much. Well, that may be the best thing that ever happened to me. It does take a bit of getting used to, doesn't it?
You've done it before, don't you?
To be fair, I've been rehearsing since 4 o'clock this morning because I wanted to do that to you people. That doesn't really, that's one of the things I wanted to do to you people. That doesn't really approximate surfing though, does it?
No, it's not much like it
In
at
fact,
all.
it's nothing like surfing whatsoever.
Not good surfing, no.
I shouldn't sell the house and go on the circuit then? No.
I think you should. I think you should. Great future.
Tell me about the privations of touring. When you go on tour, on a surfing tour, is it a lonely thing? You're away from loved ones and from your family?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. For the first year of any competitor's, surfing career, first 4 years or something, it's really hard, and you often have to travel by yourself or with other competitors, and you can't really get much solace out of their company.
And yet you could never give it up. You just kept going back to it year after. You retired more times than I did.
No. I'm semi-retired.
You're
I'm
semi-retired.
No,
You're just going down the South Coast, Pammy, to start up a surf school, I believe.
Yeah, well, to do some surf lessons and just to do more surfing too, because living in Sydney sometimes it's hard to get in the water, and my husband Mark makes surfboards, shapes them, and...
Mark Burridge.
Almost.
Bambridge.
Rabbage.
There
you go.
Rambo.
Burrabidge.
Burrabidge.
That's
You
the
see?
one.
And it saves the hyphen.
Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic hat, by the way. You
My
surfers are so
Akubra, but
cool.
it's modified.
Oh, it's the Akubra. That's your sponsor.
Yes.
So we've got Quicksilver, Oxfam. I'm sorry, Oxbow. Goodness me.
No, Oxfam.
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 We've got Akubra. Are you got a sponsor, Lane, or is
Sort
things
of.
looking terrible for you?
No, I'm sponsored by Quicksilver as well.
You're sponsored by Quicksilver as well.
And, Mark
And that's how
shapes the
you
board.
two...
And Mark Rabbit shapes my boards.
And you all drink Coca-Cola.
Of course.
It's fantastic, isn't it? It's a commercial world we're in, ladies and gentlemen. Should I make room? Look, I'm really a bit embarrassed about all this. Would you excuse me? Just pick up your drinks, really. We wanted to make it look like a proper surfer's table, ladies and gentlemen. And it is, but it's all a bit horrible. Just could you help me with that, guys? I find
You're
that
not going to have my chips.
just a bit offensive. There's rubbish everywhere. Rubbish everywhere. Except this piece of rubbish, and I think we should mention it, because Nat took the trouble to come on the show tonight. This is the history of surfing. You did a film, a documentary called The History of Surfing, didn't you, Nat?
History of Australian Surfing. This was a book. It's a revised edition because the other one did so well. We added 3 chapters to it, and it's coming out this summer.
Your documentary, The History of Australian Surfing, I found remarkable. I mean, there was some fantastic footage of...
Not just that part you used at the start with the girl rubbing her nipple.
Was that from your film, was it?
As a matter of fact.
Yeah. I bet she
You got a
wasn't...
good eye for these things.
I bet she wasn't the first girl. I mean, you probably auditioned, what, thousands, did you?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Let's not be sexist, though, because you're not a sexist individual at all, are you?
No, I'm just an observer.
No. There was one little segment from the History of Australian Surfing which I thought we might show now, which suggested that you probably were just a tad sexist, Nat. I'm sorry to put the heat on you again, son, but it just made me laugh.
I'm used to it.
Can we have a look at that?
Girls surfing has really come a long way. Over the past 10 years, their style has developed more than any other group, to the point where they are no longer an embarrassment in competitive surfing.
No.
Smooth! You've got to know how to talk to women, don't you, Nat?
No. Fair comment here. That was 1983 that movie was finished, right?
Yeah.
Where were you in 1983?
Oh, I was probably at a dwarf throwing contest.
But we've any surfing women dwarfs.
But we've all become incredibly politically correct since then, haven't we? Do you appreciate that? The fact that you're getting a fairer deal than you guys used to?
Yes.
Well, you're just so brand new, you hardly are fit to comment. Maybe I should ask Pam
Ask the
that.
veteran.
Do you think, are you guys getting a fairer deal than you used to? Is the prize money more equitable than it once was?
It's better than it was in 1983. Definitely. There was only about 5 events then, and we won about $1,000.
And a picture of Nat Young.
Yeah, and we just... our aim
And Tommy
in life-
Carroll, before his knees went.
Fair comment.
Yeah, nowadays we
Honestly,
do more.
surfing, girls are surfing much better now than they were in 1983. Is that fair comment?
It's fair, but we've had a lot of hurdles to overcome, and you've been one of them.
Hey, oh, Dougie, eat your heart out. I love being Pam's hurdle.
Do girls do the stuff that... Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have any video of that. The differentiation is still very real, though, isn't it? I mean, it's the Coke Classic, but for girls, it's the Diet Coke Classic. I find that rather amusing in itself.
It's separate sponsors because we don't want to take any money off the blokes, do we?
No, well,
you know,
heaven
they
forbid.
wouldn't like that. So, yeah.
The glass
Different
surfboard.
budgets, yeah.
So you won the Diet Coke last year, didn't you, Lane?
I did.
And you're presently rated second in the world in women's surfing.
Yep.
Which I think is a fantastic achievement. Is that the door? But we're not expecting anybody else, are we? Oh, would you excuse me for a moment? Just chat amongst yourselves. Talk about your sponsors and your bodies and your needs. Here we go. See who it is. Goodness me, what an interruption. Oh, it's pizzas, ladies and gentlemen. Please come in. Lovely to see you. Fantastic. Just whack them down there anywhere and then step well back. These people are animals. It's the salt and the surf. There we go. It's our celebration of the warmer weather returning, my dears. Spring has sprung, the grass is res. I wonder where the bird is. Oh, I know where some female surfers who might have been referred to as birds in a less politically correct era, they're here painting with the delightful Alison Raddick. Raddick, ow, Raddick ow. So,
That's very clever, Dougie.
thank you so much. You should use
How did
it.
you work that out?
You're doing a fantastic job. I mean, your hands are so mucky. Oh.
It's glamorous.
I love it, really. I'm a slop man myself. But apart from that, you've done a fabulous job. So much
Well, with
design
my helpers,
excellence.
with my little elves.
Your helpers, Lane Beachley and Pam Burridge, ladies and gentlemen. Thank them once again. That's the door. Now, when you colour in, don't go over the lines, Lane.
No,
That's
don't go
okay.
over the lines,
You do that. Let's see who we've got at the door, my dears. It's the sensational international superstar, Peter. Thank you so much. Tell us about Peter, will you, Max?
Oh, well, Doug.
Back it out of the way.
Thanks, Doug. Peter Phelps started going on cool nights as an ultra grommet to impress local junior burgers. He was soon carving up the peak as a natural foot training mongrel and a rhino chaser. Peter still rips into the old wet one when it's off its stints, and has maxed out a career as a heartthrob. Ladies and gentlemen, star of stage and screen, Peter Phelps.
Thank you. Okay, crank it up, maestro. Here we go. He's another surfer. He's another legend. How good is he? Come along, my love. Well, you got some dry clothes just in case, have you?
That's for you.
Want to get some freebies?
Sponsors.
Sponsors. I love sponsors.
Billabong.
I'm deeply committed to sponsors. Oh, you're a Billabong man, are you?
Oh, yeah.
I think we've covered everybody now, ladies and gentlemen. I do. Thank heavens I'll have to throw out all the yakka clothing I normally wear. Hard yakka. Hard yakka. Sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in. Oh, always on the move, always Coca-Cola.
Don't let them stay at the bar. Don't let them stay at the bar. They're surfers.
No, we're at the bar. You had the bar before.
Oh, it's my turn.
It sounds like you've been at the bar for far too long, doesn't it? This is Peter Phelps' new book.
I didn't kiss the Indian. sorry.
Peter Phelps' new book, Sex Without Madonna. That's the only kind of sex I've ever had.
Me too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But it's a cute title, and you thought you might exploit her fame to sell a few books.
Why not?
Is that right?
She exploited the big one.
She what?
She what? She did. She what? She did. That's the Madonna.
And I thought
Madonna.
And I thought David Hasselhoff had a problem. He did. It was you, wasn't it?
The hell is that?
It's something to calm you down. It's probably something with ephedrine in it, I'd say. Phelpsy,
Dougie.
you're a surfer. You surfed. In fact, you were a grommet with Tommy Carroll, weren't you?
No, he's at the bar. Look at him. He's safe now. Look.
I can tell you. Would you like to hear Tom Carroll's story now that he's not here to respond?
Tell me.
When I used to do breakfast at Double J and Triple J many years ago,
Oh, God, yeah.
I had a surf reporter. I had a surf reporter named David Morgan. I used to call him David Big M Little Organ Morgan. And David used to constantly refer to a surf spot, a Newport surf spot, which I think was the Peak.
The Peak.
Yeah.
The Peak. Let's go to the Peak.
And David would say how good the surf was at the Peak, and the boys who surfed Newport regularly were unhappy about that because all the grommets would go out.
Well, you never, Dougal Walker, Reggae Ellis, all the boys used to surf. There's a Newport locals in the audience as we speak.
So,
sorry, mate. Sorry.
So what happened was the boys warned me off. They said if you let David Morgan keep tipping the grommets into the Peak, we'll fix him up. So he kept mentioning the Peak. So they shaved his dog bald and spray painted rude words all over the dog, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of person your average surfer is. I think they should be stabbed out. They should be stabbed out now.
Shave his dog. If you let anyone at that stage say the Peak at the Newport was good, you'd kill them.
Would you?
Oh, well.
Or shave their dog and spray rude
Shave
words.
the dog. Would be better. Yeah.
Let's get back to Hollywood. You went there. You were in Baywatch, which I believe is the world's most watched show, or perved on show, it might be a better way of putting it.
It was. Backwash, Baywatch.
Why did you...
Baywatch, Boobwatch.
Why did you stop doing
Why not?
Baywatch?
Oh.
There was conflict between you and David Hasselhoff,
Yes,
wasn't there not?
yes. We had a... bad pause. That was a bad pause. We had creative differences.
Did you?
I think, yes. I think that's... Is that what it's
You mean
called?
you were getting too many shots?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was far too beautiful,
I think you might have... I think you might have had too many shots tonight. That's my personal view.
Oh, that'll do. Oh.
Those girls in Baywatch, are they real? I have to ask the question, or are they?
Some of them is real.
Are they enhanced? Are they polystyrene?
I'm not going to answer that.
Why not?
Look, I give
Why
you
aren't
all
you gonna
these
answer
free
it?
clothes, and you give me heaps.
Well, yeah.
What's the story, man?
Well, I thought you gave me heaps. I should give you heaps. It seemed fair. Fair exchange, no rubble. There's a wonderful mention in your book of a memo you got from the producers.
My book, thank you.
Your book, Sex Without Madonna, by Peter
Yes,
Phelps.
get it in your book, so... Now.
He can write, but he can't talk. That's the only thing. He can't have everything. In your book, you describe a memo you received from the producers of Baywatch. They were a little concerned about some aspects of your performance. What did it say in short?
In short?
If you can manage it.
And long. Well, one of the many was that we like your work. We'd like to increase your work in the show and increase your screen time. I said, well, yeah, I love working with David and on the beach at Venice Beach and have a drink. And they said, we'd like to increase the g'days in the show. I said, what do you mean? I mean, I don't get much dialogue anyway. So they said, have more g'days, and, you know, that was it.
It's been fantastic talking to you, Phil. Peter Phelps, ladies and gentlemen, please thank you. A rich and real experience. That's fantastic.
I feel like one of those do-up girls.
Let's frug again like we did last summer.
What was that?
Oh, just another of the dangers of the beach. It was the seagull.
Oh.
At least I think it was the seagull. It was the seagull. Mais accoutrements! S'il vous plaît.
One last shot at the painting. It's a fish out of water. The sharks come out of the water at dramatic speed and chomp this sunbaker who's sunburnt.
Yeah.
And it's all happening. It's
fantastic,
a day at the beach. Oh, it's nice.
Yes.
I like it.
A big round of applause for Alison Raddick.
And anybody else?
You got some in your hair.
Oh, shit.
No, I always say, don't get it in your hair. I always say that. Tonight's story, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all ready for our story? Yes? Would you like to hear the big kahuna read you a bedtime story? Yes? I saw that. Tonight's story is the legend of the grommet who cried shark. Variations on a theme, so apt. Don't you breathe any of that in, Phelpsy. Are we sitting comfortably? Good, then I'll begin. Once upon a time, long, long ago, when life was simple, when a downer was a small white pill, and when a Labour Prime Minister was a dreamer, not a nightmare, there lived a 90-pound weakling who liked nothing better than to go for a surf. This would-be actor's name was Grommet. Radical. Thank heavens. Grommet's local beach was the domain of a wild and much-feared surf guru who went by the colourful epithet of Animal.
You talking to me?
You're talking to me? You're talking to me? Put a bit of passion into it, Nat.
Yeah, well, I am. It's just that it takes so long. You talking to me?
That's better. It's worse than the voiceover on the history of Australian surfing. Apart from an uncontrollable hatred of sharks, Animal's main weakness was his girlfriend, Porridge.
You want me to wax your what?
Every day at the beach, the young grommet would spy the gorgeous Porridge as she anointed her trim, tanned body with perfumed oils and unguents, rubbing and massaging the lubricants into every golden fold and moist crepe.
Thank you.
Thanks, I needed that. I forgot where I was.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Grommet. Oh, yes. And every day when he walked to the sea, she looked straight ahead, not at he. Plus, thank you, Maestro, there was the problem of the blonde Neanderthal Animal.
What page
Animal?
are we? Hey, rubberneck. Quit staring at my babe or I'll sit on you and blabber again.
It doesn't say I'll sit on you and blabber again, it says I'll sit you on the bubbler again. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why your mum always told you never to put your lips on the... Was I drinking with you earlier, Phil? And with that, the brutal giant kicked a great splodge of sand into Grommet's face. Porridge was concerned.
Hey, Animal, don't hurt your feet.
In an attempt to overcome his humiliation, poor Grommet waxed up, grabbed his thruster, then changed his mind and went for a surf instead. It was then he had the idea.
Shark! Oh, I hate sharks. I'm going to out and kill one.
Shark. So Animal sprinted off into the waves in search of a shark that wasn't there, and the silken-tongued Grommet snuck back and spun his romantic web around the beautiful Porridge.
Hey, Glamour. How about a Fergal behind the clubhouse?
The coy young Porridge tentatively gave her response.
Unreal, King, Gas, Mighty, Stoker, Boker, I'm in. Let's go.
And with that, the two salty young lovers found their own fragrant romantic nook in the cool damp of the urine-tinged sand behind the men's dump.
What do you think of these babies?
Unreal.
Unreal.
King. Gas.
Gas. Marty. Who wrote this? Stoker.
Meanwhile, Nat. Meanwhile, Nat.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade.
No. You've gone over 2 pages. Meanwhile, Nat, you say, here, Sharky, Sharky. And so the summer went by. Every day the cry would go up.
Shark! Shark!
Every day the stupid old surfer who doesn't know what page he's on fell for the non-existent Noah routine while Gromit got amongst the real white pointers, ladies and gentlemen.
Unreal, King, Gas, Marty, Stoker.
Meanwhile, the constant swimming was having a strange environmental awareness type effect on Animal.
Once again, I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade.
Yes, well, anyway, the upshot was he didn't hate sharks anymore. So, the next time young Gromit swam out to make his cry... Shark! Animal's response was quite different, ladies and gentlemen.
Go in peace.
Peace! Go in bloody peace! Pax Vobiscum!
Oh, mighty king of the ocean.
Ocean!
On top of the food chain. You mighty mongrel.
Sing some more Beatles songs for me.
I don't think so.
There we go.
Meanwhile, out in the waves, by an unfortunate fairy tale style coincidence, a huge and very real shark was eyeing off the skinny Gromit, ladies and gentlemen.
Shark! 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 Shark!
But nobody gave a rat's. And so the kid was swallowed whole by the enormous shark. But the shark couldn't stomach him. Hey, I've seen a couple of episodes of Baywatch. I know how the shark feels. And the other two, well, Animal spent his mornings eating porridge, and Porridge spent a nights feeling animal. And obviously they all lived extremely happily ever after. Yes! Please thank our players, Pam Burridge, Nat Young, and Peter Phelps, ladies and gentlemen. And my other guests, Lane Beachley, Tom Carroll, and Cameron Shud. Yes. Thank you so much. So there you have it. So there you have it. A sad old man, pathetically trying to recapture his lost youth. And what have I learned? What have we all learned together? People are no damn good. All right, cop you later.
Chill out, dudes and dudettes. You've been watching the Big Kahuna Doug Mulray live on the Surfing 7 Network. This beach is now officially closed. Hang 10 Gordon Farrer wherever you are.